You're selling all of your data to a third party. That's what their
Uh,
message is. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just going on
no,
YouTube, so
no, we
that's
are
why it
not.
says third party.
Yeah, no, we are not.
Cool. Yeah, we could let's go ahead and get started.
I'm not smart enough to know how to do that. Yeah. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it.
You want to intro it?
I will intro it.
Okay. You want me to record it? Or you want to record it?
You can record it.
Ooh. Dokie. 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? It is Sunday Watch with the Wolves. I am your host, Mr. Banks, along with No Risk, No Premium. As always, for those who are new or joining us again, thank you guys. What we go over in the Sunday Watches is economic data for the week. Are there any Fed speakers for the week? And what are the top earnings since we are in earnings season? We'll add that to the week as well. After that, we'll go over the indices like ES, SPY, QQQ, IWM, and then get into some individual names we'll like for some day trades as well as some swings for the week. So whether you're in the group with us or not, we hope to provide you with some free value as well. Some picks that you can, hopefully bank with us over the week. If so, if you're not in the group and you take some of these trade ideas and you bank, let us know on either
Absolutely.
Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. We love to see it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. What up? What is up? What is happening? No risk, no premium here. It is Sunday. You guys know what Sunday means. It means it's the day to get ahead, to plan for the week, to get right for the week. If you think that your week starts on Monday, you are a day behind all the real winners that are out there prepping. That's why you're here with us today. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us that are in the group, in the Wolves group. I appreciate y'all on YouTube as well. And let's go ahead and get started. We guys always know how we start these off. We go and check the economic data for the week. It's always important to know when big data prints are coming, or maybe there's Fed speakers or or different earnings events as well. Those can move the market. We need to know when those are taking place. Looking over the this weekly overview here on Market Watch, you can see Monday really nothing going on. We've got a ton of knuckleheads this weekend. You guys know who the knuckleheads are? There anyone besides Powell? And Powell, he's got his own names. All right, but anyway, looking here, ISM services is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So a little bit of pre-market data we'll look at after the open, as well as the services PMI as well. So I think this is going to be the services PMI, manufacturing PMI, and then a little bit more at 10 a.m. So 15 and 30 minutes in on Monday. That's tomorrow. Let's pay attention there. Other than that, Tuesday, big nothing burger, except all these knuckleheads that are going to be spewing garbage. So just know, guys, the only person that could truly move the market is going to be Powell. But these idiots, for some reason, people listen to them. So if they're going to be speaking, just know that, and just expect pops, drops, liquidity grabs, whatever. One of them could be overly bearish, one could be overly hawkish, whatever. Okay, whatever. That's right. Carlos says in our chat here, Pal is on tonight, 60 minutes. So if you're trading futures, definitely know that. Is he going to say anything that we don't already know? Probably not. But I think the whole world is waiting for it. I feel like a lot of people have bought puts over the weekend just because some idiot on the Twitter told him to. And they're thinking that he's going to crater the market over the weekend. That would be the stupidest thing he could do. But nonetheless, we'll be watching, I guess, on 60 Minutes, unless it's already happened. Someone said already happened. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, I could really care less. On to Wednesday here, more knuckleheads. As we can see, data is very sparse. Until Thursday. Thursday is going to be our big day here. Jobless claims, it's going to be in the morning. We'll be paying attention to that. Every Thursday, you get the jobless claims, and you need to pay attention to that because it does move the market in the pre-market. Anything that is price related, CPI, PPI, or PCE, and then anything that is jobs related, jobless claims, or jobs added, or JOLTS data, or non-farm payroll. Anything that has to do with those two, because that is how the Fed makes its decision on whether or not it's going to, reduce rates, whether it's going to raise rates, whether it's going to leave them the same, whether or not they're going to do quantitative tightening, quantitative easing, whatever it's going to be. It's all factored off of those two things. What is the cost of shit and how many people have jobs? That's literally it. All right. So anytime you get jobs or price data, you better be paying attention. Let's go to Earnings Whisper real quick just to see some of the trades that we have. A lot of the Magnificent Seven, or the Big Seven, or whatever you want to call them, that are the blue chip stocks, they all reported last week. And the week before. So got a lot of those big names out the way, but still a lot of big names coming for this week as well. You can see Palantir here. NVIDIA, we don't have until the 21st, so a few weeks away. PayPal this week. right? Because the 7th is on Wednesday. That's correct. PayPal, Caterpillar. That's a good, anything construction related. If the economy is not is not in a growth mode, there's not going to be lots of construction going on. So always good. McDonald's, because everybody for some reason loves McDonald's. Alibaba, China name. China's kind of gotten beaten up, but they have some quantitative easing going over there. They're injecting whatever they call it into the market over there. So I do like Baba to the upside. There you got Snap this week. Walt Disney, that's a big name we've been playing recently. Uber, these are all on, looks like Wednesday on the 7th. The 6th is Tuesday, Wednesday for Alibaba. Enphase, ENPH, I'm seeing this name a lot. That's on Tuesday. Want to pay attention to that there. Shopify is the following week. I'm sure we'll have some charting on some of these names here into this week. Guys, just a reminder on earnings as well. Anytime there is earnings, there's going to be implied volatility will be rising on these contracts. So if you're naked trading these contracts, like you're just buying or selling puts naked, or say buying calls or puts naked, you're going to be buying an inflated premium. Know that the edge here for playing earnings is selling premium. You can sell calls and you can sell puts. You can sell them at an inflated premium. Then you get the IV crush after the earnings, and all of that volatility gets crushed, and then you can sell them back for typically cheaper. That's why you see, all these names like Nvidia and Netflix, they got, $50 out is $10 or something insane. It should really be 50 cents, right? And even if this stock moves $50, it's still not going to be worth $10, right? So just remember that this week. So it's probably good for you to stay away from those names on the day of their earnings and look to play them after their earnings. That's if you're buying naked calls and puts. If you're a seller, this is earnings season's your bread and butter. You absolutely love it. On to the charts now. I like to start with ES, S&P 500 or SPOOs for you futures traders out there. As we can see, finally broke above this 49.60. That was that area of a double top, some called it. Went back down to 49.26 and went ripping Magooey. How are you? We were calling for 5K on ES. We got 3 handles short. Fire me. Anyway, going to be looking for this overnight test of 49.60. Right? A little bit of balance here. Do we get above, back test and go? If so, 5K is on for tomorrow. If we're going to hold 49.60, that's going to be my level to watch through the overnight and into the open there. Now, break below this area. I would think 49.26 and then down to 48.72. Those are going to be the next 2 levels to the downside you're going to want to pay attention to there if we break underneath 45.60. I'm going to do NQ now because I've taken a couple of NQ trades last week for the first time. I've been trading ES exclusively for a couple years, but I took some NQ trades and I'm not converting fully because SPY and the S&P 500, that's my baby. But NQ, if I thought SPY was wild, NQ, or if I thought ES was wild, NQ is a fucking nut job. Anyway, what are we watching for overnight? 640. 640 is going to be my area. If we hold that overnight, great. Watch for 17,800 to the upside. If that breaks, my target is going to be the 78.6 fib extension. 18.4. 18.4 is what I'm going to be looking for if we break through 17.8. Okay, so look for 630 to 640, 17,630 overnight. Watch that area in there. I like that zone for the bounce trade. Okay, let's go to SPY. Go to the cash ETFs here. As you can see, looking on the 4-hour chart. Are we going to get our back test here of 4? I thought I marked this level. I did not. Are we going to get the back test of 492? 492, 492. If we do 492, we're going to target 500. Nice psychological level 2. The upside there. 509 is a fib extension. I forget which one it is, but I marked it up here. 509 after 500 for SPY there. If we want to keep on pushing highs. QQQ. Let's take a peek here. We have not broken out of, we have not broken out of highs yet. Okay. We have not broken out of highs. Okay. So that's something you need to take into account. Tech is not as strong as SPY. Okay. So over 430, that's going to be my level. If we reject it, look for the move back down to 423. If we break and hold it, I think, 432, 435, 440, those are going to be my areas too. The upside, put a fib extension on, which I thought I had one. I might have taken it off. Put a fib extension on from COVID lows to COVID highs to more recent lows of 2022. That'll give you some levels to the upside when we are in price discovery. But 430 is going to be a level here on QQQ. IWM. Do we get a rotation at IWM? I've been screaming about 193 from the rooftops for I don't know how long now. But if we hold 193, I think if we get a rotation back in to small caps, from SPY and QQQ because they've been running. Once they cool off, the money would rotate to IWM, the Russell 2000. Possibly look for buying strength there. You can look for that trade back on up to about 202. I would think if we hold this area down and this balance all gets filled out, we can see a move back up to 202. So 193 is going to be that level. You don't want any lower than 188 on IWM. Going to give you guys a couple swings here. I've been watching over the weekend. Really liking Carvana here. Carvana. This is a high short float, so we're going to treat this with more lotto-esque risk management, meaning this thing could go absolutely ape shit at any moment, right? But it could also just fall out of the sky whenever it wants to. So knowing that, size down on this trade, looking at March contracts here, but really liking this 40 level to hold. You got to flag back into this balance that is now demand, right? Balance, break out of the balance. That's called imbalance. Fill the balance, fill it, and then get back going. So let's see if this little flag is going to break out. Watching 40 to hold or a break of 44.50 to the upside, which basically be out of this flag and up to to 50, 50, 58, 62 from there. That is Carvana. We're going to look at Tesla next. Now, Tesla is a very long swing trade. Like we're going to zoom way out. Look at this thing. We're on the monthly. I don't even think a lot of you guys know that the monthly chart exists. There's also a quarterly and a yearly chart just for fun. But we're going to look at the monthly chart here. Whoa, what in the world? Why can't I? Oh, what? Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. We're getting beat up. Exactly. But are we producing another higher low here? It's very possible. So for this swing, I'm really looking like more of a leap status January of next year. Buy it unless we get under 100. I think we just buy it and hold it like it's kind of a long equity. Okay, you could buy 2026. You could buy as far out as you want, but I don't think Tesla's going to be going bankrupt anytime soon. I do think it's a good company that's been hit and struck with a lot of bad news, kind of like or Boeing. I'll be going over that after this chart here. But looking here, anywhere from 177 to down to like 150, really, because you've got this demand right here. Okay, but you've got the 78 or the golden pocket or golden zone is right in here, 144 to 177. So that's a zone. So these contracts aren't cheap. So this is kind of a more of a larger account trade. And if you have a small account, you probably just shouldn't be trading Tesla altogether. Let's be honest. But just really going to be looking at any dips to hold. I really like 165. 165, I think would be a great starter. Adds down into about 144. But if we have to add up here and add up here or add down here and add down here, then so be it. But you have to have the account size of it. So if this isn't the trade for you, it's not the trade for you. It's not the end of the world. Don't force something just because somebody said this is something that they like or something that they're looking at. All right. Don't forget it. On to BA or BA or Boeing. Good company. I don't think they're going under. I don't think people are just going to stop buying planes from them all of a sudden. They're the only ones that really make them. So, this is all bad news. Balance. I'm looking 200 for the ads. I like 200. Come on. I like 200 area here. Can we get 200? 200 would be solid. I like that entry here. You can see we had the ADMA. We got a couple closes above it here. So looking kind of bullish. You can, it's 206. You could even, 210. But if you give yourself enough time, you can incur a little bit of drawdown past 200. Okay. And then look for 217 to break to the upside. A target would really be this gap fill. I like March, April, May OPEX calls there. Definitely not cheaper options here on BA or Boeing as well. So be cognizant of that. Last but not least for me, Snow. Nice breakout over. Okay. Breakout over this 212 area. So when you have some balance and you break above it, it becomes imbalance. And do we fill the imbalance down to make us balanced out? Likely. So I'm looking for the back test and hold at 210 to 212. If we get that, great. My ultimate goal is going to be up here 232. You got to zoom out and look way left from a long time ago to understand why that is a level up there. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for you. Very long-winded day. Lots of tickers, but some pretty good setups looking like we're going into this week. Indices are pushing all-time highs, so just be cognizant of that, and that if we do get pullbacks from these highs, the rest of the market likely follows. So if you're going to incur some drawdowns on your swings, don't panic sell and don't freak out. That's all I'm going to really tell you there. All right. Other than that, Justin, what's going on, brother? What is happening, guys? And what do you got for us?
So as you guys know, I love to trade the top holdings of SPY. If you're a small account trader or you're a newer trader, I think some of the best stocks to trade is go to Google, type in top holdings of SPY, type in top holdings of QQQ, and trade those top 10. Very liquid, relatively cheap. For most of them, at least, they're cheap contracts to trade. It's gonna be Meta, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, right? Nvidia. AMD is not on there, but AMD is also a really good one to trade. In saying that, tech earnings have passed, except for Nvidia, and we can go back to trading these, right? So very, very happy that we can go back to trading these without any worries of earnings happening this week. First on the list is going to be Meta. Nice little flag out here. If we do want to take a look at the daily, we could take a look without extended hours. As you guys know, I use extended hours for trading, but always nice to see without extended hours for any kind of gaps, right? We could see Meta absolutely gapped up, insane, probably created a bunch of millionaires overnight on that trade. But this week, I'm looking at this nice little flag out that Meta has created, looking for a back test into this demand. I can go ahead and take this off. But you can see this nice little demand here between 465 and 455. So first level to watch would be this 465, call it, you could say 466, 465 level. Nice little back test here to hold for another push up. Anything below, I'd be looking for any kind of bounces within this demand between 465 and 455. Now, if we take a look here, my line in the sand is going to be around this 453 level. If we go back here to this daily, right? So when I'm looking to little lesson here, when I'm looking for my levels, I'm cross-checking between the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily, right? So look at the higher time frames. I'd say 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Sometimes you could do the weekly if you're going to be taking a swing. But as far as like taking day trades or just the weekly trades, I'd really be sticking to the 1 hour, 4 hour daily and cross-checking these levels. So currently on the 4 hour, I'm looking at it let's go back to extended hours. Have extended hours on. I'm looking at it. I'm saying, okay, 453 is really that level. Line in the stand for the bullish case, break and hold below for any kind of short action. Does that line up on these other time frames? So if I go back to the 1 hour, I could see this 453. Yeah, it lines up. And then going back down, we could see, okay, well, if we do take a short below 453 on this 1 hour, it's showing me that I do have a level at 449.50, right? So this is why I tell you guys to cross-check these levels. One, because yeah, the 453 is showing as a big level on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. But if we take a look at this 1 hour, it is now showing us one more level below. So what can happen here, right? What can happen here? If we were to go short below 453, because we're saying, well, on the 4 hour, there's nothing below it. On the daily, there's nothing below it, right? 453, that's it. I'm going to go super short there. And now we come down to the 1 hour. What can happen here, right? We could look to get short 453. And then possibly we could still bounce in this 449.50, 450 area below 453. We bounce and then head back up, right? So always good to cross check the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily for these levels here, just in case there is a level that's hidden in there that you're not seeing on like the 4 hour or the daily. So in this instance, that 453, yes, major level. Look to get short if there is some weakness below it, but just keep in mind that we have this 449 level here right below it. So if we're swinging it and we're saying, okay, we're going to go super short, I'm going to swing this below 453 as soon as it breaks and holds. And then what happens? We bounce around 449 and 450 and then head back up to this, to say 460, for example, right? That could screw your weekly screw your weekly swing over, right? So just wanted to break this down for you guys. I know I've been getting a lot of questions on this of, how do I find my levels? How do I find my trade plans and what to look for? I'm always cross-checking this 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily to find these levels, right? Just so I'm not missing anything. Like this is a great example of 453, huge level. Yeah, we see that. But also on the 1 hour, we can see that there could be some demand or a bounce below this 453 that we missed on this 1 hour, where we could get a bounce and potentially get liquidity grabbed under this 453 for a push higher. So hope that makes sense to everyone. Going back to these levels, sorry, I just wanted to go on a little education there for you for a second. But going back into these levels, watching that 465 first for a back test into this demand. or 486, right? 486 break and hold to the upside. I would be watching 490, 495, and then this nice elusive psychological number of 500, but showing incredible strength after earnings. So let's see. Let's see what is going to happen here. 465 back test between 465, 455, as well as 486 break and hold to the upside here on Meta. Next on the list is going to be Tesla, everyone's favorite, right? We're kind of just ranging out here, Let me go to the daily, show you guys. Essentially like a bearish H, right? Continuation pattern there. Couple things to note, MACD starting to curl. We are still in very oversold conditions on the RSI as well. So really watching this 180 to hold here, watching 180 to back test and hold here to get long. Below 180, we have room into 172. I would watch 175 first and then 172 as those levels. We can see here, nice little demand right into this 172. Below 165, 160, and then 152 would be the ultimate low here on Tesla if the market just wants to continuously sell Tesla. But really just watching this 180. One thing to keep in mind though, if I was a market maker, I would dip below this 180 here, get everyone to get short around 178, 177, and then bounce it all the way back up. So just keep that in mind. And that's with any kind of stock that you're trading, right? We have major levels to the downside. I mean, I know you guys can raise your hands how many times where you have a level to the downside and you're looking to get super short because you're like, oh, this is Z level, it's going to break, we're going to get super short, and then it just bounces like crazy on you. Um, and you are liquidity for everyone, right? So just keep in mind when we do have levels to the downside, especially when we have oversold conditions like Tesla, where we can absolutely continue to sell off, but we also, the personality of Tesla in particular is nice little liquidity grab underneath this 180. Retail's getting short below this because all over social media is sell, sell, sell Tesla. So I'm going to get short underneath this 180 level. They liquidity grab us underneath 180 and then we bounce right back up. So just keep that in mind whenever you're going short on a level that on a stock that is completely oversold. You have the MACD turning and possible double bottom happening. So that's where people, another question, liquidity grabs. Where do they happen? How do they happen? Why do they happen? There is your lesson on liquidity grabs. So again, 180 holding for this bottom level here. 196 to the upside, right? Very, very clean, just range here. Another one we can go throughout extended hours is this nice little gap fill, right? Below, above this 196.36 exactly level, I'd go into 200, which would be the psych level, over 200, 206. So we can break this 196 level here. I will look into this psych level of 200 and back into this 206 to fill this gap fill to the upside there on Tesla. And again, watching this back test around 180 to 178, dip below for liquidity grab for a bounce to take us long as well. Now, if the market's getting weak, Tesla's getting super weak, and we just have a bunch of sell volume pouring in and it's selling off below 180, I would look into 175 and then this 172 area to the downside on Tesla. Next on the list is going to be Mara, right? Mara. So 23% short flow on Mara. So kind of like that Carvana that No Risk brought up about squeezing, right? I mean, we've kind of seen the volatility of Mara. Sell, super squeeze, right? Sell, squeeze. This one kind of consolidated, squeeze up to the upside, right? So very pretty volatile here on Mara. The thing I do like though is that we are holding this level. The thing I don't like is we can't break above this 1910. But we do have the MACD starting to curl here. We are holding above the POC line here on the daily. POC line. What is that? That is the point of control. So what is that showing us? Sorry, that's gonna be the VWAP right here, not point of control. Point of control is gonna be down here. But nice little VWAP hold here on the daily. What I'll be watching for is a back test here into the 1775 down to about 1715. So 1775 down to about 1715 here on Mara, right? 1 hour POC line here is around 16. So POC line, what does that mean? Point of control. It's going to show you where the most volume has occurred on that timeline. It's not showing you if it's buy volume or if it's sell volume, it's just showing you where the most volume has occurred. So if we're looking at this little volume shelf education, I know I'm just throwing out a bunch of education here today, but we're using the volume shelf indicator, volume profile on some charting softwares. This point of control is pretty much showing, it's showing the highest level of volume. So say we're bouncing, we're above this. If we come back down below and we hold, more than likely it's going to show it as demand, right? So if we're above it, we want this to be buy volume, showing it as there was buy volume here that pushed us higher. If we fall below the POC line, more than likely that was sell volume that was pouring in, which pushed us lower. So just think about it as a pivot point level there like that. So 1775 down to 1750. I'm looking for a hold here to break back down, break back up to the upside. Also watching 1910, really one, two, three tries here at 1910 could not push above. So I think if we do finally get a push above 1910, we can get a nice move back into this 1973 into 21 and then 22 here. We could see that over 1973 on this volume shelf, we have a nice big gap that could send us right into 2020, right into 22, sorry, 22. With a nice little squeeze, especially with a 23% short float over 1973, we could look to get long into 22.22. But 1910 will be my first level I will be watching. Why? Because you can see right here, multiple touches on the 1 hour. 1, 2, 3. Try 3 times now to go over 1910. I think if we finally push above this 1910, we can get that push right back into that 1973. And again, over 1973 into 21.22 there on Mara. Next on the list is going to be Shop. Another name that's great for small accounts. Premiums are always very cheap, right? Premiums are always good here on Shop. We go to the daily, holding this nice little trend here. Could be a wedge up possible situation. But holding this nice little trend, right? Holding this trend. What I'm watching is 84.50. Now, as we know, we've played this before. We played this gap fill from 80 to 84.50. We filled it, we broke back down, but we've held this nice trend here on the daily, as we can see right here. So 84.50, if we break and hold it, I will be looking for a move into that 89.90 level. So this week I will be watching to see if 80 can hold. If this 80 level can hold here, looking to take long, or even just a back test into this nice little trend here would be 79, 78 would be the low, I guess, right there. It's between 80 and 78. I would look for a back test into this trend. If we can hold that, we'll look for a move back up. Or if we can show strength with a break and hold over this 84.50 level, we'll look for a move into that 89.90 level there on Shop. Although we do have a little bit of bearish divergence here on the daily, just to keep that in mind. So if this is a wedge up here, we get a push up here, could see some downside possible in the near future here on Shop. Last but not least, I am looking at Google. Again, love playing these tech names. Why? Great premiums, good liquidity, and fairly easy to trade. I think they're some of the easiest ones to trade, especially for any kind of trader. Nice little pin bar hammer here off of demand that we're seeing on the daily here on Google. So showing some strength, right? We came down, we sold off into about 136, and he moved all the way up into almost 144, right? Pretty big move, pretty big buy in this demand level, showing that there is strength here. So this week, nice little breakdown here. I want to show you guys 144 is a big level. Understand that. But say if we go down to the 4 hour and then we go down to the 1 hour, what do you know? 1 hour showing us that this 144.50 level little bit better than the 144. Now we can take the 144 break, but in my personal opinion, I like this 144.50 just a little bit better here on Google if we want to get strong, right? So 144.50 is what I'll be looking at on Google to take to the upside. We have this nice massive imbalance here all the way up into 148 and then really all the way up to about 150, 152 to the upside here. So 144.50 is going to be my level to be watching on Google. And as you guys know, we trade Google with the L, right? Not just GOOG. Do not like that. I think most professional traders don't trade it with with just without the L. Most professional traders trade it with the L. This one's going to be the better one to trade. So if you're going to trade Google, trade it with the L. Just keep that in mind. Always with the L. Don't trade it without the L. Again, this week, guys, we're going to take it one trade at a time. Look to execute good trades. See a lot of people on social media, especially lately, talking about just take $1 to $1 million. Let's take, all these little small account challenges, all these, pretty much just ruining new traders, all these gamblers on social media, just ruining it for a lot of people. What you guys really need to be doing is starting slow, 1 to 2 contracts until you can find your edge, right? Find your strategy, build that foundation, understand what you're doing. I understand we want to make a lot of money when it comes to trading, but how are we going to make a lot of money if we don't have an edge and we have no idea what we're doing? We're just throwing a bunch of money at because someone said to buy this, so we're just going to throw a bunch of money at it, or we just think that this looks good, or we read a news article, so we're going to throw a bunch of money at it, or taking this lotto or this gamble or this earnings play because Meta went up crazy amount, 4,000%, so I'm going to take this earnings play and hope that I make 4,000% on it, right? And then you lose all of your money. um, we have to be realistic with it. We have to come eager to learn and understand how to trade in order to make money as a trader. So again, this week, one trade at a time, look to execute 1 to 2 contracts only, build that foundation, understand why you're taking a trade, understand your levels, understand your entry, understand your exit. What would those be? What do those look like? Right. And then really focusing on making good entries and making good making good exits. I mean, everyone sees in the chat, my entries are very, very specific, right? I wait until the very last minute to get that entry. I'm not sitting there just freeballing it into any sort of entry. I'm a very, very specific, and that comes from 11 years of trading, right? It comes from 11 years of trading, of understanding how to trade, of building my edge. So I believe in all of you guys. I know you guys are going to become profitable traders. You're just going to have to give it time, give it screen time, take a deep breath, relax. You're not going to be making thousands. You're not going to be making hundreds of dollars every single day in the beginning. If you're making $5, if you're a break-even trader in your first couple years, you're doing something right. A break-even trader, not even making money, just being a break-even trader, you're doing something right, right? So let's just keep getting better. Believe in all you guys. Let's have an amazing week.
Mic drop. Guys, you heard it there. Let's pay attention to the data for this week. One and done trains all you need. 1 to 2 contracts. 30-minute rule should be in effect for all of our small accounts, peeps. And we'll see you guys later.